I welcome you all to the fourth segment of lecture number 32. In this segment, we will be looking at one of the substantive issues that were raised at the merit stage, whether there was violation of expropriation provision of NAFTA that is provided under Article 1110 of Chapter 11 of NAFTA. So here, what had happened was, there were certain federal measures that were taken by the federal government, and then subsequently some measures were taken by California government. Eventually, the state mining and zoology board had come out with the regulations also. So claimant claimed that between the federal measures and the state measures, a continuum of acts had happened, and that had amounted to indirect expropriation of claimant's investment, which was an imperial project. Now here, what the claimant stated was there were federal measures that were taken. I mean, they had to give approvals, POO had to be approved and all of that. Once ROD was rescinded back, the record of decision that was given by the Secretary of Interior, the claimant had even asked the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, to review the POO, the plan of operations, right? So there were some delays with regard to approval to plan of operations and all of that. That had given sufficient time for California to enact certain measures that irreversibly had indirectly expropriated the project. This was the claimant's contention. So the tribunal, what it stated was, with regard to the decision of Article 1110, violation of whether there was violation or not of Article 1110, it will look at the severity and duration of the economic consequence for the project, right? So in that context, the claimant stated that when at the time of this project, the project was valued at 49.1 million United States dollars, but after the regulation that had passed by SMGB, the State Mining and Zoology Board, that had happened in December 2002, around that time the value of the project was negative 8.9 million. That is, the project value dropped so low that the value went in the negative, minus 8.9 million United States dollars. And the claimant stated that, see, there is a economic suffering, economic value has come to a negative, and therefore this amounts to indirect expropriation. Now this is where the United States had a problem with the valuation methodology. So if you read the award, it actually talks about the valuation methodology a lot, and so I'm just simplifying it, right? And the simplification is, there's the methodology approach that the claimant had taken. United States did not agree with it. So what the arbitrators did was, they looked at the concern of the United States and accordingly tried to modify that in the methodology, and then they arrived at a value. So by looking at all the concerns that United States had, what the arbitrators finally did was, they arrived at a value. I mean, the calculation that was done by the claimant, concern of the United States, then arbitrator addressed the concern in the calculation, then finally they arrived at the value which amounted to 20 million United States dollars. So from 49.1 million United States dollar, the calculation of arbitrators that on the date of expropriation, this was the value 20 million. It was not a negative, positive 20 million. So then the tribunal held that there is no substantial economic deprivation, therefore there is no violation of Article 1110. So here one of the arbitrators disagreed with regard to the financial assurance, but still he also agreed with regard to the main point, that is, there was no substantial economic deprivation that had happened to Glamis Coal, and hence there was no violation of Article 1110 of NAFTA. But in that context, with regard to the federal measures, when the claimant was questioning, there were certain federal measures and that had amounted to expropriation, the tribunal rejected those contention, because even when the federal measures were taken, let's look at ROD, the record of decision of Secretary of Interior, that rejected the plan of operation, but immediately it was rescinded. After the new solicitor came into office, then they rescinded the M opinion, as well as the ROD was also rescinded. So it was only for temporary nature, the when the POO was rejected was only for temporary nature. Since it was only temporary, so the tribunal with regard to the federal measure stated that it did not amount to expropriation, even on the facts of the case with regard to valuation, since there was no substantial deprivation, economic deprivation of the project. The tribunal held that there was no violation of Article 1110. This is how the question of expropriation was decided. In the next segment, we will look at how the question of violation of FET clause was decided. We will discuss that in two segments because it's the most of the arguments of the claimant relates to violation of FET clause. So, we will first in the next segment we will look at the federal measures, whether it has violated the FET clause of NAFTA. Then in the last segment we will look at whether California's measures had violated the FET clause of NAFTA. Right. Thank you.